minutes. But welcome back, everybody, to the Hampton Road Show. We're back to share an incredibly inspirational story. That's always good, especially on a Tuesday. Lots of determination and perseverance here, too.
That's right. Anthony Robles, he's an NCAA wrestling champion who overcame more than just a physical challenge. Chris Reckling has the story on this week's edition of Rec on the Road.
10-year-old Adonis Lattimore is like most kids his age. He loves sports, especially wrestling. But Adonis was born without legs.
He has a good spirit, struggles with confidence a little bit because of his condition.
It's a condition that is very rare, and role models are hard to come by. But Adonis has somebody he can really look up to. Anthony Robles was born without one leg.
So when I was born, my mom said they were shocked. They didn't know if I was going to survive or not. And they came to my mom after running these tests. They said, "We don't know what happened, but your son's missing his right leg." They said, "Other than that, he's perfectly healthy. We don't know exactly what went wrong." So you can imagine, as a kid, going through school, especially high school, I struggled with that for a while. I didn't understand why I was different, why I was missing my leg. I didn't know what to do. But my mom, from a young age, she'd always tell me, she said, "God made you that way for a reason." She said, "There's a plan, just wait and see what it is."
That plan was wrestling. Robles first hit the mat at 14 years old and was instantly hooked.
So I came home that day after wrestling practice, and I was wearing like a white t-shirt. So the t-shirt was all stretched out, it was bloody, my face was all swollen. I walked through the door with the biggest smile on my face. And my mom, she thinks I got jumped at school, right? So she's freaking out. She's like, "What happened to you?" I said, "Mom, I went to wrestling practice. This is the funnest thing I've ever done."
With only one leg, Robles battled long odds each time he took to the mat against two-legged opponents. Never once did he use his condition as anything but motivation to excel. In fact, as a freshman, he finished last in the city and then found motivation by writing out his goal on a sticky note that he still carries today.
That night, I wrote down my first goal of being a state champ. And so I wrote, "State champ, you can do it," on this little sticky note. And I still keep it. It's just told the kids, you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to be the one that's driving.
He became a high school state champion, but no college offered him a scholarship. So Robles walked on at Arizona State University. And in 2011, he shocked the wrestling world when he won the NCAA National Championship.
I'm sitting there, 20,000 people watching. Got to wrestle the returning champ, and I was scared out of my mind. But I remember running out of the tunnel, stepping on the mat. I was sitting there on the mat, scared, but as I was looking at my opponent, I remember thinking in my head, there's no way he worked harder than me. There's no way he trained harder than me. I'm not losing this match. This is mine.
Robles is the walking definition of perseverance. He now shares that message to all athletes, including those at a recent wrestling camp at Kellam High School.
You're always going to have a challenge, whether it be in your sport, in your life, personal life, whatever. You're always going to have something that's going to knock you down. The question is, are you going to get back up? Are you going to keep moving forward or feel sorry for yourself?
There is a special bond between Robles and Adonis, one that they both know now, and one that young Adonis has yet to understand.
I had no idea, but just by me doing simple things, just by me pushing myself harder, I was inspiring others. And so, I could see he's got that same trait. He inspires me, and to be wrestling for 2 years now. I mean, that's an awesome thing, and just seeing it, I looked in his eyes, I could see it, just that positive light there. He has that power to change people, so it's something special.
I love that story.
Wow, I love that story. Now, he's written a book called Unstoppable, and it's already in the works for a movie. And, this is a little extra touching for me because when I used to work in Phoenix in 2005, I had the opportunity to interview him when he was still in high school, and I featured him on a high school football show I was hosting at the time. And it's so great to see how far, how he's progressed. And he was a great kid back then, and I totally remember him. And so to see what he's doing now, I mean, I feel proud.
Well, there's so many things that you can take, even just from Chris, the piece that Chris did with him about not stopping and continuing to go when people say you can't, pushing past the limits that you think you have. There
overcoming
are so
the
many
obstacles and just believing in yourself, really.
Absolutely.
So it's a great story. I love stuff like that.
And the fact that everything happens for a reason. Something that he thought would hinder him ended up being the catalyst to great things.
Pushed him that much further. Wow, great story.